Hey everybody, and welcome back to my series called Teaching Titans. I'm Matthew Boyle, and in today's video I'm going to introduce my personal three-part modular system for self-mastery. This is a system that I have developed by myself, for myself, to use during the past couple years or so. I've been continuously following it and optimizing it. So just to start off, as a brief aside, I can't tell you how many conversations I had recently with teachers and with students and with friends where they were jokingly saying to me how little they hoped or planned to accomplish this summer. We're about to go on the summer holiday, and people were talking very negatively about their prospects for self-growth this summer. They were kind of like resigning themselves to the idea of just vegging and doing nothing, either because of the heat or because we can't travel internationally so easily during this pandemic time, or whatever. But it doesn't matter. These types of thoughts we can't let into our interior space. A teaching titan is always looking for how they can optimize where they're at, how they can use what they have to continually progress. And just as an aside to the aside, I heard a great quote recently that all travel, if there isn't enough internal development and internal wisdom, is still just another form of distraction and escapism. And I've seen a lot of people become defeated and destroyed internally in the recent months because they can't travel as much as they liked. They seem like they have no conception of anything else they could do that they would like to do. They just love to travel so much. And part of me wonders, is it a kind of escapism from a life that they're really not too satisfied with? So this gave me the thought that in today's video, I want to chat with you about how you can use your summertime well, and it has to do with a very practical system I'm going to introduce to you. Before I jump in, I want to warmly welcome you to like and subscribe so you can support what I do and be aware of when new videos are coming out. Alright, let's begin. I don't have a really great name for this system yet. I just came up with this name just now. A three-part modular system for self-mastery. And why I say it's modular is because these three parts we can shift into on a day-to-day basis, or on a weekly basis, or on a monthly basis. We can jump into whichever part fits the moment so that we're always making progress. So I'm going to introduce each part and tell you when it functions and how it functions. And I will also post a description of it down below so you can read how it works, and if you have any questions you can ask me. So the first part of the system has to do with what we do when we're having our typically busy days. This would be like the days of the school term when we have a lot on our plates and we're very busy being busy and our thinking is very helter-skelter. During those types of days, I always carry out my top 5 habits, and they are tiny habits that add up over time. So I'd like you to think of maybe 3 or 5 habits. The exact number doesn't really matter, it's just a number I pulled out of thin air. But this allows you to continue to move towards self-mastery even during the normally busy days. I'm proud to say that this past term was one of the busiest terms of my life, but I didn't miss any of my top 5 daily habits during that time. And you can just keep track of your top daily habits on a habit tracker. It can be a simple thing on a piece of paper on your wall, or maybe an app on your phone. And what you want to do is look for the times of day when it's best for you to pull off those habits. But if that time of day doesn't work out on a given day for whatever reason, you can just move it around. Again, this whole system is very modular. So that's the first part of the system. The second part has to do with what we do when our schedule has totally opened up and we have a lot more free time. That could be the weekends, but more likely it is the summer holidays and the weekend holidays, or the 5 to 7 day long holidays. What do we do during those times? A lot of people tend to relax into that open time too much. Now, I don't want to discount the importance of rest and rejuvenation. I definitely want you to take care of your health. But also, the job of the leader is to grow. The job of the leader is to do more than others will be willing to do. So you have to look at your free time and understand how to use that constructively. So, and not only that, but it is the perfect opportunity to shift into a totally different state of mind. That is the state of mind which understands and relishes deep work and flow state. A state of mind that is very hard to achieve when things are busy. So maybe you want to work on a piece of art, a piece of music. Maybe you're writing a story. Maybe you're choreographing a dance. All of these things require wide open, unperturbed, undistracted, free time. So during these few weeks of summer, it will be a great time for you to understand the value of deep work, letting your mind go deeply into something with no distractions. So I'm about to shift into that. I have a lot of creative projects already lined up, and these are the first two parts of the system. They basically have to do with what do you do in terms of your personal growth when things are very busy, and what do you do in terms of your personal growth when you have wide open free time. So I basically have two systems for these two different states, and I can shift between them. But what about the third state? The third state, or the third part of this modular system, handles interruptions, massive interruptions or distractions to part one or part two of the system. So regardless of whether you're running part one or part two of the system, you might have some massive interruptions or distractions which make it impossible to do anything you want to do on your plate. It might be, for example, a family member has been hospitalized and you need to accompany them to the hospital or be with them at the hospital, for example. Things like that. Big, important interruptions which necessitate you pushing everything off of your plate and handling that thing. I don't look at those things as negative or frustrating or annoying anymore. In fact, I have a term for the third part of my modular system, and I call it opportunizing. So whenever I can't do part one or part two of my system, I think about how to use what's happening as an opportunity to put all the personal development skills I've been developing to the test. This is a real test of my patience and my skillfulness and my gracefulness under pressure, under fire. So the third part of the system is what you shift into when you can't do anything you had planned for yourself to do and you have to help out with something else. And the idea is to find out how gracefully you can do that, how you can put your skills to the test when you're doing that, and how you can use that as a stepping stone to even greater personal mastery. So, I think that most of us are going to be moving into the second part, being that we're on the cusp of the summer holiday here. So I want you to think about how you can use the time constructively, how you can shift into deep work, focused work, creative work. And I have a helpful mantra that I'll be using this summer, and I want to share it with you, and that is, grow more than anyone you know this summer. Or maybe you can change it to be like a question. Are you growing more than anyone you know this summer? Again, because leaders do more. Leaders do what 95% of people are unwilling to do. And when you come back to the fall term, I want you to be better prepared than anyone else. I want you to make the summer harder than the fall term. So when you come back to the fall term, it feels easier. These are the types of mantras and mindsets that I'm running with, and I want you to work with them too. Remember that the best leaders and the best teachers are the best students as well. So that means we need to be learning more. We need to have this insatiable attitude towards self-growth. Okay, I hope this gives you some new ideas for how to approach the summer. But not only that, it's a 3-part modular system for self-mastery that you can use any time of the year. I've been running with it for a long time now, and I feel like it can cover just about anything that life will throw at you. Alright, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you back here next time. Bye-bye for now.